How you doing? I just wanted to show you what I'm doing today. So I'm out at the camper, out at the lake, and most of you already know my deal, but we come out here every summer and hang out for the whole summer. I mean, we go back and forth. We're just 15 minutes from home, 15 miles from home. And my husband still works, and so he goes back and forth to work. You know, we're out here for a couple of days, then we go home for a day or two, then maybe we're out here for 3, then we go home for 1, and I'm back and forth taking care of my garden. So I mean, it's really convenient, but we spend more than 50% of the time here at the lake every summer. And I just made a find that you won't believe. Well, sure you will. But as you know, I am a home herbalist, and I make my own medicines for my family. And, you know, we no longer take Tylenol or any kind of sleep aids or anything like that that's over the counter or prescription, because I make those things naturally with herbs that God created to do just that. My husband takes no prescriptions. He takes no over-the-counter medication. I take a couple of prescriptions for diabetes. Other than that, I don't take anything like that either. I am not against doctors, and I am not against pharmaceuticals. There is a time and a place for them, but we shouldn't be just tossing those things down our throats every day when there are healthier alternatives. Those things fix the symptom. They don't fix the issue. And, you know, God's creation does. So I hopped in the car a few minutes ago, drove over to a neighboring camper, a couple of points down on the lake that I only get to see a few times a year here. And on my way over there, I spotted a ton of elderberry bushes. Look. All these beautiful elderberry. And I mean, I just got a tiny, tiny bit of them. And I got half a basket full. This is a pretty good sized basket. I got a half a basket full. And I really just barely scratched the surface. One of the things that you don't want to do is just strip the bush bare of blossoms, or there's no berries, because this is what turns into berries. And you certainly want the elderberries. You want them, first of all, you want pollinators. The bees love this. All pollinators love this. And I did have to shake off the pollen before I brought it inside. There was a good amount of pollen on it. And it's good for the pollinators, and the birds love the berries. And actually, you kind of have to fight the birds for the berries when it's time for the berries to come on. So you want to share those as well. You don't want to take them all. So anyway, elderberry, elderflower. So what is elderflower good for? Well, it's good for a lot of things. It is antibacterial, antifungal. It's great for sinus infections, for colds and flu. It's great for to build your immune system up. I make a tincture out of them. I make an oil out of them for the skin, for salves and things like that. And I also dry them for tea, and that's what I'm going to be doing here. I already have plenty of tincture, and I already have an oil macerating in a jar on my counter. So now I'm going to dry these to make tea. There are a lot of other things that this does. Again, colds and flu, bronchitis. They're a diuretic. There's even been studies shown that elderberry and elderflower help with MRSA in hospitals. There was a study done. So, I mean, there are a lot of different things that this does. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful herb. God knew what he was doing when he created this sucker. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I am going to leave big pieces of this. And first of all, let me tell you that the the blooms and the berries are not toxic. They have nothing toxic that you have to worry about, but you want to avoid as much of the stems as possible and the leaves, because they have a toxic quality, if you want to call that a quality. I don't think, and it's been very, be careful of all that stuff, it's going to kill you. I think you'd have to consume an awful lot of it to kill you. I think that just little bits of it, well, I know because I do it all the time. You know, these little tiny stems that you see. I don't know if you can see them or not. Let's see. Let me break it down even further. These little tiny stems, those are not going to hurt you. You don't want to consume tons of them, but you know, there's not enough toxicity in them to do much any harm, really. So don't be afraid of elderflower or elderberries, because they are amazing. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to break these off in pieces about like that, and I am going to put them in my dehydrator. And I prefer to dry my herbs between 90 and 125 degrees, depending upon the humidity. If it's not very humid, closer to 90 or 95, under 100. If it's a humid day, you know, in the middle of summer, I then kick it up to 125. But I don't like to go any higher than that, because it kind of ruins some of the medicinal properties of it. Okay, so I'm going to be just taking these trays and taking these little flowers, and I'm just going to lay them out on the tray and just fill up. There are four trays here. I'm just going to fill it up. These trays, I don't have any of the mesh mats that go over it that keep things from falling through, so that's why I'm leaving them in big chunks like this. And then I will pick them all off later. Now, one thing I want to show you here that's really important is, can you see those little round balls in the center? That means that those are little blossoms that have not yet opened up, and they need to be opened up not to be toxic. So you don't want the unopened ones. So I am going to pick around those and kind of pick those off. A few of them aren't going to kill you, but the majority of them I'm going to pull off if I can, and then just put the rest on the tray. And I'm going to fill this tray up and all the rest of them. But that's how you dry. You can also just lay these out. I prefer to dry these quicker than that, because I think that, well, they lose color when you just let them dry long, you know, when it takes days and days for them to dry. They lose, I think that they, kind of the longer it takes for them to dry, the more medicinal properties they lose, the weaker those properties become. And so that's why I like to do this way, kind of dry them quickly while they're fresh, instead of leaving them for a long time. And so I'm not going to bore you with all the rest of it, but I'll come back when it's done and show you what it looks like. And here is all that beautiful elderflower, dried and ready for tea. I hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all, thanks for watching. Mwah!